This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, guys, I just opened a Tableau. Please keep everyone is in the mute. So there are other people also attending this meeting through the recording. So some of them is not able to connect in the morning time. 11 o'clock they are not available. So I don't want to keep any disturbance in this recording video, guys. There are other 3 4 people are going through this recording session in the evening time because they are in office hours currently, so could not connect at 11 o'clock. So I don't want to see any disturbance in the recording. Yeah, I just want everyone go in mute. Yeah, I just did myself. Okay, then let's start. So in the last session I just discussed about the what are the different data types we have in our Tableau. So we have a string data type, or you can say it's a character format, and the number format, date format, date and time format, data type. And also we have a data in the Boolean format, Boolean data type, which is true or false. And also we have a geo dimension data type, which is called like a location, pin code, city, state, which is used for to develop a geomaps dashboards.
Recorded.
Now, yeah, can you guys go on mute? Okay, Anudeep. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Now I'm going to explain about the shelves. Shelves is, I'm just to show you naming convention. Everyone call this the same way. Whenever you get into the project, people call this as shelves. Shelf. Okay, we have a row shelf, column shelf, also row shelf and column shelf, and you can say the page shelf. Also, we have a filter shelf. Okay, so we have a different types, or we can say, forgot the other name. There is another name, so where I forgot. I'll just let you know the next time. Okay, so mostly people call it as shelves only. So once you connect it to the Tableau data sources, like I'm just logging to the connecting to the one of the data source called Excel. Like as I said, in a whenever you are working with a project in a real time, you are going to connect to any of these data sources. The frequent database where we use in most of the project is Oracle, SQL Server. Nowadays is a Snowflake, Google BigQuery. So these are the most used databases when you come to the project. Okay, even SAP HANA as well. But I can explain Oracle connectivity later. So already in the beginning stage, in the very first session, I explain how to connect to the Oracle. But later we'll discuss when I start with the SQL concepts. Now I'm using the Excel data sources. Excel is also having the different tables, which is ordered table. Let me open it. Even Excel is having a different table storage here, orders table, people written table. So I'm using only the orders table, which contains all the data. All type of data is available, customers data, and what time they ordered the product, which region they ordered, which city, what kind of product they ordered. So all this information stored here. The amount sold, you can see quantity, discount profit. All these measures information also available here. Now once you add it here, you can insert a sheet. Once you connect to the data, the first step is connecting to the data source. First step is when you develop a report, you want to develop a report, the first step is connect to the data source. And once you connect to the data source, The next step is step 2. Step 2 is simple. You just drag and drop the dimensions or measures, dimensions and measures into the report, or you can see in the sheet. Okay, how we are going to drag and drop this step 2, like that is what something which I'm going to cover today, step 2. So we already explained, when you double click on the category dimensions and the measures, so by default it is going to display the report, right? Now how to remove it? Just take it out. To remove this object, whenever you add any object, you should know how to remove these objects also, right? So how to remove this? No, you're not going to delete it. Okay, so go and take this, select this object and drop outside of the this workspace, outside of the workspace. Go and remove it. Just pull it, just hold it, select and hold it and take it out like this. And from here also you can do. This is how you can do it. Okay, now I'm talking about the column shelf and row shelf, right? So how to add the object in the column shelf and row shelf, how the data is going to display. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to take the subcategory, put into the rows. Okay, and now I'm taking the sales into the column, the measures values I'm taking into the column. Then what will happen, it's going to reflect the data into the bar chart. Okay, whenever you add the category and sales into the rows and columns, by default it is going to reflect the data in a bar chart. Guys, remember, in a people ask an interview, when you just add any dimension, one dimension in rows, one column, one measure in the column, what is the output of the data? So the output of the data which is going to show you in a bar chart, by default it is going to display as a bar chart. So are they going to ask this silly question? Yes, sometimes. Okay, now I mean, mostly people think about how you are good in using the tool. Like if you are not comfortable using the tool, how you are going to work? It's not possible, right? That's the reason. So people test you. That interview is going to test you how frequently you are using this tool. You know all these concepts or not? Okay. Now I'm going to remove again. Now I'm going to have the subcategory into the column and the sales into the rows. Now I'll see this. What is the difference when I change the interchanging the columns and rows? What is happening here? When I interchanging the rows and columns to, so earlier the subcategory added into the rows and sales into the columns, then the data which is displaying in the bar chart, horizontal bar chart, the data which is showed as a horizontal bar chart. So now this is called the vertical bar chart, guys. Horizontal, vertical. This is a vertical bar chart. Okay, I'm showing it again, guys. Taking the subcategory into the rows, sales into the column. Now, whenever the category into the rows, the data which is showing into the horizontal bar chart. And whenever you add the subcategory into the column and the sales into the rows, that is going to become as a the vertical bar chart. Okay. Any questions here? Okay. So do we need to add only the one dimension and one measure in the rows and columns, or can we add the multiple dimensions and multiple measures? Yes, you can do it. You can have a multiple measures and multiple dimension in the bar chart. Then what I'm doing, I'm going to have the region into the column. Now guys, you can see this accessories. Under the accessories you can see the all the regions data. If you want, you can extend this. Now you can see the names as well. Okay, east, central, east, south, west data. Okay, so accessories, then each region wise data displaying. Appliances, each region wise data which is coming, right? But I want to know, I want to interchange this, like the way the object you added into the column, the order you can see. When I change this, so I want to just have the region is the first and the subcategory is the second. So which one is a good compared? When I add the region, under the region you can see the each subcategory is all the sales data which is coming here, guys. Similarly, for east also you guys can see this. This is how we can do. Or I'm just going to have the instead of the category, instead of the subcategory, I'm going to have the category. Now see, this is how we can change the order of the dimension the way you user is requesting. User ask like, I want to see the category wise each region. Yes, you can have the category first and region. But in case user want to see the first region and then under the region I want to see the list of subcategories, then you can go with this. Okay, this is how the user asks you want to develop such a report. Okay, now I'm going to remove this region I added. Now I'm going to have the profit here, sales and profit. Now guys can see, and also I'm going to have the quantity. Look at here. So now I'm going to have a segment. I'm going to have it or ship mode. How they ship the product. See this. So which is the data which is displaying in a region how the product is shipped, and the total quantity shipped in first class this much, and with this ship mode I got this profit and this much of the sales revenue generated for same day or second day or standard class. So shipping, when you do the shipping, right, there is a premium, there are different shipping method, right? So so those shipping methods I'm talking about. What is the ship mode? Okay, shipping mode. What is the shipping mode? This is the shipping mode. Okay, and you'll see this in a central, in a four shipping mode. There are four shipping mode. Each shipping mode, how much the quantity, how much the revenue we got it. So this is how. So we can have a multiple measures, guys. We can have a multiple measures. Okay, so you can have a profit, and maybe instead of the region I'm going to have the subcategory. I want you everyone try this, how the row shelf and column shelf works here. You can just play around with this. Okay, now I'm going to have a region. So each region wise data which is going to display. Clear everyone? I want to see the each measure should be in a different color. I want to see the each, say sales should be in one color, profit in one color. Okay, profit is there multiple times. Okay, let me have the sales quantity. Yeah, so I want to see the each measure should be in one color. Then you take the measures name into the color. It's just simple. So these are the list of measures, and take the measures name, put into the color. So each color you can see. If you want to change the color, go and edit the color. And the sales I want to see the different color, and quantity I want to different color. Okay, this is how we can change the each measure should be in a different color. Okay, that's clear. I'm going to show it again, guys. I'm going to have a region, and again category, or you can take the subcategory. Each region we have a multiple subcategories, and having sales put into the column. You'll see this. So the data which is showing in an horizontal way, and you want to see the one more object as well. So you can say I'm going to have a state as well. Take the state, put here. After region you can see the each region state wise subcategory data which you can see. Even you can have the quantity sold into the column. Now I'll see this, and also profit which I'm going to add it. Now I'll see. This is how we can display the data. I don't want to see the subcategory, remove the subcategory. Now see each region wise, each state wise data how it is coming. And in case you want to see the value over here, when you take the cursor over there, then only you can see the values, profit, quantity, sales, right? Then what I'm doing, there is an option called show the marks label. Marks label means value is going to display. Click here. Now look at here, guys. I can see the data, the value. Instead of the cursor over there, I just want to see in a central region. Okay, for Texas, how much is the revenue generated? For Texas, what is the quantity sold? What is the profit? So this is something loss, right? Which is in negative. When the profit is in negative, so it is into loss, right? So this is how we can develop a simple report by adding the dimensions and measures into the rows and columns. Okay, and you can swap the rows, guys. You can, when you click on here on the top here, there is an option called swap. Swap means what is happening? So region and state is in the rows now. When you click on swap, now the region and state is into the column. This is how we can swap the dimensions and measures. Any questions here? Is that clear, everyone? Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to here. So now you understand about the bar chart, right? So now I just added the only the string data type dimensions and measures I added, right? Now I'm going to have the date. Whenever you have the date dimension into the orders rows, so I take the order date, okay, and then select this to year to quarter. Then I'm going to have the sales into the column. What happened here? Let's remove this. Now you guys can see what happened here. So by default, the data which is showing in as a what is this? What is the data? What is the type of this chart? What type of this chart it is?
Line chart.
Yeah, this is a line. This is a bar chart, and this is a bar chart, and this is a line chart. Line chart. Whenever you take dimension and date dimension and measure into the rows and columns, by default it is going to display the line chart. That's how the Tableau given a certain recommendation when is a line and bar. So whenever you want to see the line chart, so you should always have a date dimension. So you should have the date. Without date dimension, the line chart is not visible by default whenever you just add the dimensions and measures. Whenever you have the normal dimension measure, by default it is going to display the bar chart. But when you want to see the line chart, at least one date dimension is mandatory to display the data in the line chart. Okay, is that clear, everyone? Any questions here? Now what I am going to do, I'm going to have a region double click on it. So whenever you double click on it, what happened, each region, these are the each region, guys. You'll see this each region wise, each year wise data which is going to display. Okay, now I don't want to see the only the year wise, I want to see the each month wise as well. Then what you can do, you can go here, click here, drill down, so I can see the quarter instead of the quarter. So what I'm doing, I'm going to display the month. Now I'll see the each month wise data which is going to reflect here. Okay, guys, clear? Any questions here? And I just want to see the only the month name instead of the year. You can select the month. So January, February, month, all the data which is going to display here. You can just reduce the size of this. Okay, now let's see this January wise data. If you want to see the label, you can select the label. So label wise data which is going to display here. Okay, any questions here? How to display the data in a line chart? So to display the data in the line chart, we always use the one date dimension and one measure. You can have a multiple measures as well here as well. You can see this, and also I want to see, let's say suppose I'm just having the region here. Now what happened here, by default it is showing as a bar chart. When I add this, remove this, and when I just have the region, let's say if I add the region here in the column, in the rows, what happened here, when I add the region into the rows, do you see that any difference here? So each region wise data which is showing line chart. So you may have such kind of requirement, guys. So if user asking the same layout, then how we can able to reflect this. So this is how the day dimension in the columns and the region and sales into the rows. This is how we have to develop a report. You have to just try and play with these dimensions and measures, putting into the rows and columns until it reflect the user requirement. So whatever I am showing, it is this is all most of the requirement we use this only. Most of the requirement we are going to use this only. Okay, any questions here? How to use the row shelf and column shelf and interact and swapping the rows and columns? See, here there is a button called swap. Instead of doing it manually, you can just click here. It will interchange all the dimensions and measures into the rows and columns, columns to the rows. Any questions? I want you also guys try the same method, same how I implemented this. So you guys also do it. Instead of using the same dimension, you guys can use the ship date, or you can ship mode. You can use the state subcategory like this. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just having the state and the sales. Now you can just have these columns and rows. So what I'm doing, I'm just taking the order date here. So you can see whenever you take the order date in the column, so the data which is converted like this, 2020 with all the data which is coming here. You can enable it, you can see the data over here. Okay, if you want expand this, you can see this and you can scroll it. Fine. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to have the state and the sales. I want to see the state and sales. So by default, it is showing the geo dimension, but I want to display this state-wise sales into the pie chart. When you click on the pie chart, make this entire view to display this bigger one. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm going to have a region into the column. So now the data which is going to display the each region wise data. Now I'm going to have the order date into the rows. Look at here. Rows and columns, how the data which is going to reflect here. Do you want to see this? Maybe you can make it a standard. When you make the standard, you can increase the size of this. Entire view means like the entire view it is going to display without any scroll option. But here you can see the scroll options over here. This is how. So we can use multiple pie chart, each state wise, sorry, each region wise and each year wise. Okay, and see here you can see the each state wise data which is coming here, but I want to see this each category wise. I want to display the pie chart should be the category wise. So take this, remove this state, take it out, take the category guys, category into the put on the column, sorry, put on the color. Now I'll see this how this is reflecting it, or you want to make it the entire view. So this is how it comes. Is it same everywhere? No, right? The angle is different, right? Here if you see in the east, which year subcategory, sorry, which year technology, this is a technology. Let me just have the category into the label. In the east region, which year the office supplier is having the highest sales? Can you guys tell me in the east region which year is having the highest sales? I'm repeating again. In the east region, which year is having the highest office supplier sales?
2023, maybe.
Yeah. 2022 or 23, right? If you see the 2022, 23 office supplier 67,000. So yeah, in 2022 is a 63. So this is how. So user can analyze the data. If you can see the sales and put it to the label, so you can see this. So in a 2023, in a East sales, East region, office suppliers is having the highest sales, which is the 67,479, right? So this is how the user going to analyze the data very quickly. Okay. Any questions here? Is that clear, everyone? How we
Yes.
can play around with the different dimensions and measures keeping into the rows and columns? Okay, moving on to the guys page shelf. Page shelf normally we don't use, but yeah, I'll just quickly give you some idea how the page shelf works. So I'm just having the category and also the subcategory. Maybe I'm just having the category and take the region and having a sales and profit. Okay, now I'm taking the region. I'm taking the region into the page shelf. You just drag and drop into the page shelf where you guys can see it here. Only the one region I selected, only that measures data which is coming here. Central subcategory wise sales and profit data displaying here. And when you select this, I want to see the only the east data should be highlighted and see the data. Guys, if you scroll down, nothing works. Like only the east data which is highlighting here. And when you select the south, only the south data which is coming over here. Okay. So this is how the page shelf works. And you want to see, say example, now I just you have a pay I mean kind of flash play option is available. When you click here, it will go around. It's keep moving it. See, it's moving it. Now when you just go back, see, I'm not touching anything. It's just kind of playing like a flash play, right? This is how page shelf going to use it. Normally we don't use much about the page shelf, but yeah, I just give idea. What are the different shelves we have. Filter shelf, column shelf, row shelf, and page shelf. These are the four shelves are available. I'm just removing it out. Now talking about the filters. Like filters is very very important in a Tableau. So most of the interviews they ask what type of filters we have in Tableau. So that we'll discuss later. But I'll just to show you how to utilize the filters. Filter is something to restrict the data. Filter is useful to restrict the data. So instead of showing all the data, I want to display the only the specific records. Then we can go with the filters. Say example, I'm adding the region, also state, having the sales, profit, quantity, and also I'm having the order date into the here. Now see. So what is my requirement here? I want to compare the data for 2022 and 23 for a specific region, not all the regions. Okay. I want to compare the data with the central and west data with the 2022 and 23 sales. So here what happened? I can see all the regions and I can see all the dates, all the years of the day, order date. I don't want to see all these dates because my requirement is I want to see the central and west data. Central and west and 2022 and 23 data I want to display in my report. Okay, rest of data I don't want to display in my report. Okay, so that means I want to restrict, I want to filter out the data as per my requirement. I don't want to see all the records which is coming from the database. Okay, any questions? My requirement, is that clear about my requirement?
Yes.
Okay, now how I am going to do, first I am going to apply the filter on order date. Take the order date, put into the filter simple, and take the year. I want to filter on the year. Click on year and select the 2022 and 23, and then region should be applied on the filter. Take the region, apply the filter. I want to see the central and west data. So this is how, so user can easily understand the data when you want to see the only the specific records instead of unwanted data displaying in the report. What user is looking for, if you display that record, user can easily understand the data. So you need not to search for every place like central and west and go down and scroll up and scroll down, all these things you need not to do it every time, right? So this is how we can use the filters, guys. This is the way we can apply the filter conditions in the filter shelf. We can have a multiple filters. Say example, I want to display the only the specific states. So then you can select the states as well. Okay. And also I want to have some specific month data for 2022 and 23. I want to display the only the January month data. Then take the order date, put into the filter. I want to see the only the month January data or maybe April data. So Jan and April data I want to display. So this is the Jan and April data. So but how we know that which is this 623,119, which month of the data which is coming here? Then you take the order date, put into the rows, and make a month. Just make it as a month. Now see, so all the data which is going to display in a central region for this particular state, the each month wise data which is coming. I mean that month also I want to see the only the 2 months of the data, right? So where I want to edit a filter, how to edit a filter? Say I want to have another month data appear in my report. Go here, state, edit a filter. Then I want to see the January, February, March, 4 months of data I want to display in my report. You guys can see now. And I want to see the 2020. Then go here, edit a filter. Then instead of the 2022, then make it 20 and 21 sales. Okay. So this is how user can easily understand the data. Guys, clear? Any questions? So recently I just did one dashboard, which is AP voter list data. So they want to know each state, sorry, not state, like each in a district, in a particular village, how many male candidates are there and how many female candidates are there. And a person is not living in a same place. There is some data they managed in Excel. A person is not in a like the same location or same city, same village. So those lists I just filtered all this information which I did it in the Tableau itself. They gave the data in Excel format. They just want to consolidate the list of the voter list, and what are the male and what are the female, and who are currently live or who are like not have expired the people. So that list they given the information. That's how they identify who are not the voters who are already expired. So that information they consolidate it. They want to just showcase that. So these candidates are not available, these candidates are available, and these candidates are currently located where. So that information they are given to me in Excel. I prepared some visualization and share with them. You know, right? Like politically, they need this information to visualize it. Is a very easy way they can identify the candidates. Okay, and also they given some customized data as well. Like they are belongs to the different political parties. So are they really they vote this to these people? So that kind of dashboard, the forecasting dashboard also which is implemented. Okay, I mean this is something which is recently did one of the dashboard is implemented for AP, not entire AP state. There is some specific in AP there is some specific district. So one of my friend coordinating that, so he just provided that information to visualize it because he knows very well about. He is basically expert in the ETL side, so he prepared all the data in a Excel format, writing some ETL concept, and they shared with me. Then I implemented such a dashboard to like take a kind of decision where these candidates are available. I don't know like in detail what the detail analysis they did, but yeah. So I just created dashboard and share within a some of them in PPT, some of them I shared it in a PDF format. I also did some calculations here that I send it to the Excel format. This is how, so the reports are very helpful to the business users to understand the data in an easy method and take a right decision to improve their business, improve their decisions, improve their decision is easy way by the data. Okay, guys, clear? And how we can apply the filter. These are the different type of filters which you can apply, guys. Now I'm going to, now I'm also going to, let me just have a region and state again. I want to know which state is having the highest sales. Which state is having the highest sales? Okay. I want to know like which state is having the minimum 1 lakh of sales. I want to know the which sales is having the minimum 1 lakh of the sales. How to do that? So go here, take the sales and put into the filter. Some you can just see at least, I want to know at least 1 lakh of sales. I want to know the list of region which list of states which revenue generated more than 1 lakh. Okay, more than 1 lakh the revenue generated for these states, Texas, New York, and these are the different states revenue generated more than 1 lakh. I want to know the revenue generated at least 75,000. Revenue generated at least 75,000. How many states we have? So guys, you can see the total 9 states, 9 number of rows and total value here. In the bottom, you guys can see this. Okay. And I want to see the at most, I want to see the, say suppose less than 5,000. At most means is less than, at least means greater than, and at most is the less than 5,000. Which are the state is having the least sales? So these are the sales which is revenue generated less than 5,000 is this. Okay. And also you can edit here. I want to see the least is something less than 3,000. Less than 3,000. And I want to also have a ranges information. Then you can use the range value. I want to generate the revenue generated 1 lakh, maybe let's say 75,000 to 90,000. I want to see the list of states, the revenue generated 75,000 to 90,000. This is how you guys can do that. Edit a filter again. Maybe I'm just making it the 1,50,000. Revenue generated 75,000 to 1,50,000. So this is how, so we can apply the filter to get a ranges and based on the measures. The data which I want to display the ranges between the based on the measures. Okay, I'm going to show you one more. I'm having the customer's name and the sales which I'm going it. Also, I'm just having the order date as well. Sorry, I just want to have a profit. And I want to see the loss. I want to know the how much the loss it is generated. So what you can do, guys, you can see, take the profit, put into the filter. I want to see only the minus profit data. Minus is something loss, right? So I want to see the loss customers information who got profit less or minus. What to do that? I want to get the all the values which is in a minus. Guys, you can see at most 0. So whenever I just make it as at most 0, so all the values you guys can see the minus. So these are the customers I got a loss. With these customers I got a loss. The list of customers data, you can see how much is the Last I got here, you guys can see this. Okay. So this is how we can get the profit information. Even how much is the loss I got, which is in negative values, those are all comes under the loss only. Okay, fine. Guys, I just discussed today about the row shelf and column shelf, page shelf, and filter shelf. These are the different shelves we have in a Tableau to display the data in a different format. So I use simple today about the bar chart. I also use the line chart, how to display the data in a line chart. I also use the geomap with adding the year in the row column shelf. I also discuss about the pie chart with a combination of the dimensions and measures with the rows and columns. The pie chart which is showing the intersection of the rows and columns, region and year, right? I also explain about the page shelf, how the page shelf works. I also explain about the different type of filters. Not type of filter, how to use the filter. The types of filters we'll discuss in the next session. Okay. So tomorrow we'll talk about the marks card, and also if possible we can discuss about this different type of charts as well. So you know already about the sorry, the table format, and also we discuss about the geomaps as well. Bar chart, you know, line chart, you know very well, and also pie chart we already discussed. The remaining charts will cover about in the next sessions. Okay. So I'm just going through the how the Tableau components and each component how that works. That is something which I'm explaining guys here. Okay. Any questions? That's all today. Anyone have any questions? Okay, so that's all guys today, and we'll continue tomorrow, same time. And tomorrow we'll talk about the marks cut, which is very very important, where we play with the data visualization kind of thing, the different formatting, color formatting, and what type of charts we can utilize it in the marks card. That I'm going to explain. Very very important about the marks card. So now you guys comfortable with the connecting to the data source and what are the different dimensions measures we have, and also how we can develop a simple report by using the rows shelf and column shelf. And also you are very much familiar with the filters, how to play with the filters and restricting the data as per the end user requirement. Okay. These all scenarios we are going to use in a real-time project. Okay. So that's it today guys, and continue tomorrow with the marks card and other remaining charts we'll cover. Thank you everyone. Anyone have any questions before I close it? I want you guys to talk everyone in the next sessions. Thank you all. Bye everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.